Hey y'all, Sam the Midwest Handyman. Today we're going to be working on my beloved, I believe these are Medusa's head. I'm not sure. I bought them on clearance. If you're following along, I buy absolutely everything thrift, clearance, or curb score. Hand-me-downs are cool too. Okay? Sometimes I even trade furniture. So, I bought these little bad boys. Were dying on the clearance last year. We've made it mostly through winter. I feel like this one's a goner, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to move my awesome bird cage out of the way. I'm going to go ahead while it's cleaned out and spray it down with my alcohol spray. I do believe I have some spider mites lingering. So, okay. If you were shopping the Walmart clearance when all the clear plastic, overpriced, organize your house, false sense of organization stuff went on sale, I got the $20 or $30 packs of them for like $9.99, $9.97. Okay, so that's why I have so many Lazy Susans. Hey, while we're talking about the topic, actually, let me show you. Because this is one of my favorite things. The little like in cabinet organize your spices. You can also organize your dead succulents in these bad boys. Now I will tell you, depression affects everyone differently. And as I always say, every master gardener also has some dead plants to donate to the Sam Killed Her Plants in a Depression Bout Fund. Please hit the Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Anyways, oh, that one's alive. I'm just waiting for spring. I know there was an overwatering, honestly, on those, so also if you have nothing to do but water your plants, I do teach macrame as well. Keep those hands busy. It's taken me a long time to learn. I was totally an overwaterer, so... the succulents and these guys, I don't know if this guy is mad because I can't remember if I watered it or not. So I don't know if that's why it's so mad or the spider mites. I did just get it some more light. So now is the great debate on do I water these or not? And if I do, it will be the tiniest bit of water ever. So I think I'm going to clean them today and leave them for another week or so at least. I know in the winter, in my zone here, Midwest Handyman, you don't want to water your cactuses at all, like October through maybe March or April. I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. I'm an expert via failure. So anyways, I have a couple toothbrushes via the Dollar Tree. That would get this out for fun. I have my mixed up neem oil from my bulk compress that I bought also on clearance. So I don't really have a super plan. Sometimes this gets clogged in the sprayer. If this was an outside plant in my garden with the neem oil, I would honestly just full on spray it. I don't spray it on all my plants in my garden. Again, I try to keep it pretty natural. I go out there when the squash bugs come, and I'm literally out there smashing them with pliers and ripping off the leaves that have the eggs on them, and then I drown them in a bucket or I burn them. I said what I said. So I'm just very gently going to go over this. Oh, okay. So the reason, sidebar, the reason that I didn't full on spray these is because I feel like some of my houseplants and cactuses did not like it. So what I was going to do was, I could be wrong about this being a Medusa's head because now I do see a really big pine. When you get these light green, soft looking spikes, those are your hard spikes going to form inside of that. So I could be wrong. I thought these were Medusa's head the way they were growing, but honestly, This bad boy just could have been infected this entire time. That may be why it's growing so weird. But I did, at one point after I Googled it, I did believe it was a Medusa's head. So need to get that P.O. box up in case anyone wants to send me a Medusa's head. So this is one of those no label, like $3 random. We propagated this off of another. I don't even have roots yet. Wally World plants. So I had it outside on the deck most of last year. It did pretty well. It would have got some water on its own without me even watering it. So if anyone knows what this is actually called, please feel free to drop that in the comments. So sometimes they will become elongated like this. Like if this is not a Medusa's head like I thought, which grows like down and out. It is because they either have an infestation of some sort. This one's like separated from all my other ones, or it's lack of sun. So those are kind of our options we're looking at here to why this could look like this. I'm not a bug expert by any means. But my plan was to like scrub this down with the toothbrush that I'm spraying and then go over it with water. But at this point, I guess I don't feel like it's necessary. I'm getting all the little fuzzies off. I am going to lose some of the little spikes here, it looks like, but I almost just want to spray the plant now. But maybe we'll spray the other one that already looks like it's on its last leg. So I think maybe I'm going to wait until we get a little more sun. See the base of this one? Where that little one's coming out? It was this size. And this one looks like it's deflating, as I call it, at the top. So I'm wondering if I did water it and this one's dying. So the mother plant of this one is gone. It's just barely holding on to a thread. So what I think I'm going to do actually is I'm going to go ahead and break it off. I think I'm going to cut it with scissors. And then I'm going to put it in the dirt and see what happens. I mean, that's basically when we buy them, guys. Most of the time, they've literally just snapped them off another plant. A lot of times you let that end. You want to let it sit in the air for 2 days, and then they put it in the dirt. I think sometimes they just snap it, put it down in that peat moss, smash it in, water it once, and send it on its way. So that's why a lot of the ones that we're buying from the big box store don't really make it that long unless you... It's been hit or miss. I'll put it that way. But when the shipment does come in at the big box store, a lot of times if there is some that the pots have broken, if they're a double potted one, if the pots have broken or like it's even damaged a little bit, they will automatically put it on clearance. So if you do, want to give them some TLC, you can buy them like right off the bat, right off the truck with a tiny bit of damage for like half price. Huge fan of that. So but this other little piece does look like it's coming out of the root of the plant. So again, I'm not really sure what's going on with this one. I have another cactus we're going to clean up that will probably be a little more inflammatory. I feel like I just broke that. It's going to break off. This is the non-fluffer channel. I'm not going to edit that out. There is some really, really fine looking spikes on here. As well. So I think also that's good because I thought all of it was spider mites. Now you can't see it close enough up on my bird cage here, but there were some, I feel like spider mites or animal hair. Like it's such a close call, you know? But it was more what was on the outside of that cage that was making me feel like I had the mites. Because now that I'm digging into this and I've gotten the bigger stuff off, these little fuzzies look like they are part of the plant. So on some of the cactuses, what might look like a big spike is actually a whole bunch of them like condensed together. Like on a prickly pear, there's like the big super spike, but then at the base of that spike, it's all these little teeny ones, and those are the ones that will just like stick the crap out of you, and you try to wipe them off and your whole hand's like covered in these like micro spikes. So I haven't been back out to the property in years. I'll have to ask for an update. Sometimes my ex will send me a picture update of my old garden. So, and the stuff that I planted out there. But I haven't asked in a while, so we'll see if my prickly pears come back this year. Prickly pear is one of the few that will be like Iowa hardy. No, it will go completely like flat and deflated and look completely dead. But if you leave it, it will pop back up and come back to life. So there were a couple old rotting stumps, and I had taken some just a little bit of potting soil and kind of filled in where there was like cracks and stuff. And I put in some of the prickly pear as well as his hens and chicks. I don't know how to say the big long name of it. I'm so hit or miss on those. It seems like when I bring them in the house, they die, but my ones outside will come back every year. So I did a series of those, and they are also, I believe, they are also cold hardy. So I did some of those inside this like rotting down stump, and so I think as it deteriorates, like they can actually eat off of it. So I don't have any rotting stumps here. Sometimes I'll grab some driftwood and pieces like that, and we'll do some fun oddball stuff this summer. So that's it. Best of luck if you're repotting anything or trying to save any of your cactuses. If anyone else has the knowledge of those no watering months, please drop it in the comments. Hopefully I have the comment section back open. I'm not really sure what happened with that. I don't know if it was doing the videos for kids that people can't comment for a safety thing or what. So I stopped doing them all ages. But anyways, I have another cactus we're going to work on later. It's a lot more pokey, so I'm going to get the tongs out. And it, I know for sure, is has a little bit of the infestation. So I'm just using, again, the neem oil. And I had a cup of water here because I had planned on going back through and kind of washing that neem oil off. Because I know that it really anchored one of my succulents. So You can use the alcohol, rubbing alcohol. I've heard too on the spider mites, the rubbing alcohol water mix, which also may have been what I burned that plant with. I mean, it was like it turned to mush instantly. Within days, it turned pink and was like melting and like coming. It was the strangest thing I ever saw. So I'm wondering if I had accidentally used the alcohol I have mixed up as sanitizer that I spray on my trays and stuff, and I'm gonna spray it on this. But this is a lot stronger, even though it's diluted, it's a lot stronger. And so I think I grabbed the wrong one. And I've also done that on a tray of plants before. I didn't have my water. My water bottles look exactly the same. So, except I put a little bit of because my water isn't the best. Some of the black charcoal pieces that you would use in your terrariums, and we'll do some terrariums in fairy gardens as it gets a little warmer, and I know the plants that I bring home will live because sometimes they're sitting right in the doorway of the HD store, and I'm like, it's sub-zero. Those are getting blasted with cold air all day. So I stopped buying them during a certain amount of months because it's like they get frostbite on the way, I think, and then you get them home and they die. So that's just my experience. But as soon as the stores start, piling up with them, we'll bring some more home. I'll refresh my well, actually, that little one I showed you, I use that a lot when I'm propagating off of bigger ones. I also search for the plants that have a bunch of babies on them already, because then I like to split them off and put them in my little pots. So that's just me, and I'm like a bargain guy. So anywho, someday I'll have a really awesome plant budget, and I'll just get to bring home the giant plants. But until then, we try to save all the clearance plants we can. That's it. Thanks, guys. I'll leave it at that because I know now I'm just rambling, and we'll work on another cactus later, and I'll probably get it a little closer to the camera so that you have a little more visually to look at besides my beautiful face. Thanks.